Hi guys, it's Coach Delaney here of EAS to Go, back on week 4 with another lesson of Photography 101. I'm so excited to be back here teaching you guys. I know we had so much fun last week with our DIY photo shoots. The possibilities are completely endless, you guys. We had so much fun doing that. It's all about creative expression, setting up that camera, getting your family involved, and just having fun. So if you didn't get to see that last episode, please click over and go to our EAS to Go YouTube channel, and you'll find all of the Photography 101 videos there, as well as some really cool videos by the rest of our coaches, ranging from anything from tennis, fitness, music, art, tap dance, like you name it, EAS to Go has it. I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors and donors, because without you guys this video would not be possible. Also, remember to please keep social distancing, stay inside guys, stay safe, appreciate this quality time with your loved ones, and let's get right into the lesson. So for today's Photography 101 lesson, we're going to be talking about the rule of thirds. So I know some people are like, okay, well, yeah, that's the golden rule of photography. Some people are like, I never really use that. And some of us are probably like, what are you talking about, Coach Delaney? So today we're going to talk about what exactly the rule of thirds is, the pros and cons of using it. Some of the places we might actually see the rule of thirds are already in our phones. And we're also going to talk about how to properly use the rule of thirds if you decide that that becomes your golden rule of photography. Photography, like I said last week, is also technical, but it is also creative expression. So at the end of this video, you will have the chance to learn all about rule of thirds and decide if that is the golden rule for you or not. To describe it in the most simple way, a rule of thirds can be thought about as a grid. So it has 9 boxes total, and it makes up of lines that cross each other horizontally and vertically. So there's always these 2 important lines that's going like this, and then there's 2 that are going like this. And that makes up for your rule of thirds. It's always going to be on your screen, whether it be your iPhone screen, the screen of your social media page, the screen of your camera. This is why people use the rule of thirds. People use the rule of thirds in order to create captivating, emotional, in-depth photos that really kind of center their subject in another light. So I'm going to step over to this way, and let's say I had a rule of thirds grid over me right now. I would want to keep myself within this line and within this line over here. So part of my body will be crossing it from this part of the rule of thirds, and part will stay in here. This is where our viewer is going to be looking at me from this side. But if I step to the middle, they're not going to pay attention to anything around me. This is all going to be technically considered negative space. So remember that word, negative space, because the rule of third helps to create better images using that negative space if you have a captivating setting. Like let's say someone is at a beach and you want to show how small the body is compared to this big piece of land, or someone has a really great farmland like scenery and is running. You want to show them off to the side a little bit, left or right, totally your choice. But the whole point is to not put them in the middle, because it draws the eye into the entire frame instead of just solely looking to the middle, which usually it's a pretty basic form to shoot in. So sometimes you want to get that nice depth of field, or maybe you want to show off the location more. That's always a good reason to show the rule of thirds, because it communicates something to the viewer, you know? It tells the viewer, okay, this is obviously the subject, but they put it off to the side, but let's see if they're pushing over so they can show what else is around. Let's see if they're pushing it over, so then we would focus more on that person. Rule of thirds is a rule per se, but it's more of like a stylistic thing, because I have seen photos where people have completely ignored the rule of thirds and have had amazing composition with their subject matter, whether it be a person or a house, completely in the middle. So it's totally up to you. How about you guys look at some of these photos that show people using the rule of thirds, and then we're going to compare those to some people not. Again, using the rule of thirds is completely a choice of your own. Rule of thirds is known to attract the viewer to the entire frame and the things within the photo rather than focusing on one part. There's no right or wrong way to do the rule of thirds. It just depends if you want to compose your image this way. The rule of thirds can be explained in several different ways. Some photographers love to use it, some photographers never use it at all. Take a look at this definition and save it for notes for later. Another fun fact about rule of thirds is if you put your phone on a grid, for example, your iPhone, you can do it on your Instagram. Instagram has been known for using rule of thirds, and I'm sure we all have a social media. Try to take your Instagram or your phone out while you're at home, and then your two circles that are intersecting right about here, try to push the subject a little bit off to the side, left or right. Just remember these circles. Remember these circles in this part, and then just try to take a picture and have something of interesting value in the background, whether it be a plant, it could be people in the background, it could be a painting. Try to take your photo that way instead of centering them in the middle of the painting and then taking the picture that way, and see how much more interesting it actually looks. One of the big pros to using the rule of thirds is that when you have a grid on a camera, your phone, Instagram, whatever, you have an actual blueprint for you to follow to actually put your subject in. So you don't have to overthink and say, oh, maybe they should be to the right, the left, the middle. Usually every photographer starts off trying to just put someone in the middle. But using the rule of thirds is almost like there's like a placement holder for you. Some people do not like the rule of thirds because they feel like it doesn't apply to every photo. Some people might call it a myth, but like I said, totally up to you if you want to use it. It's just something that every photographer will definitely know. So as photographers in training, now that you know all about the rule of thirds, you can try it yourself and see if it's something that you want to do. The rule of thirds is also commonly used in film. So usually when someone is actually on a TV show or being filmed, they're never going to be in the center frame of the actual camera. If they are, then it's probably like a stylistic thing. But usually, even if you turn on your TV now, they're a little bit off center to the side. So then that way your attention is drawn to that, but you still get the setting that they're in. Their setting is a part of their story, which is why the rule of thirds is so important. So today I challenge you guys to take some photos using the rule of thirds and not using the rule of thirds. And please email us, message us, DM us, and tell me why you would rather use it versus not using it. Send me in some of your example photos. I would love to see them. Like I said, photography is also a form of creative expression. So there's no wrong way to do this exercise. All you need to do is grab a smartphone, an iPad, your Instagram. I believe even Twitter actually has a grid of rule of thirds that you can put up there. Grab anything that you know you could use for rule of thirds. Take your pictures with it. Remember these two circles on this side. And just remember to send us in your photos. We definitely want to see those from you guys. And also try to take one without using rule of thirds. So find something that is really attractive to your eye and then maybe shoot it in the center. Maybe not use the rule of thirds at all. Maybe shoot it at an off angle. Like I said, it's all about artistic expression. But now that you guys know what the rule of thirds is, you can use it to your own ability. Thank you guys so much for watching today on EAS to Go. I can't wait to see you guys next week. If there are any topics that you guys would like to learn about or need any help on, please feel free to email us, call us, DM us. We're always here for you, and I'll see you next week.